What's up everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you guys back. How my voice probably sounds disgusting. I really can't breathe, but I was really inspired to make this video, so you guys are just gonna have to watch it. I'm sorry. But today I'm going to be going over 5 things I wish I knew before I started my Airbnb arbitrage business. For those of you who are new or have never seen me before, hi, my name is Haley. I'm 21 years old. I have 48 Airbnbs. They're all arbitrage, so I rent them. I don't own them. And I've been doing it for a little over 2 years. This month was actually my 2-year anniversary. Within these past 2 years, I have learned so much, not only within business, but just as a whole. I feel like I have challenged myself the most this year. I have pushed myself the most this year. I have accumulated 5 things that I wish I knew someone had told me before I started. So I'm gonna be that person for you guys, but we're gonna make this short and sweet and straight to the point. So if you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe. Also thumbs up this video. It helps boost it in the algorithm so more people can see it. Let's get started. The first thing I wish I knew was how important pricing was. I feel like no one talks about it enough. Everyone will sit here and tell you, oh, this is how you cold call landlords, this is how you get a property, but no one tells you how to nurture that property and make sure that property succeeds. It's way, way, way deeper than just finding a nice house in a nice neighborhood. There are so many things that go into it, and I feel like a lot of times these hosts are failing. It's not because they have a bad property in a bad area, it's because they don't know how to price it properly. I didn't get really confident with my pricing strategies probably until like a year into the business. It is not a one-size-fits-all type of formula. Yes, there is like an average formula that you can apply to every single listing, and it most likely will be better than your own formula, but every single listing is so different. Every single house is different. Every single apartment is different. Every single area is different. They all require different pricing strategies, and that's one of the hardest things about not only teaching about pricing, but also just like knowing how to do it, because there's not one size fits all pricing formula. It takes a lot of trial and error, and I know no one likes to hear that. What pricing is, like, you just have to move around different numbers, move around different variables, test out different ADRs, test out different cleaning fees, see how soon you should drop your pricing, if you should drop it 2 days before a vacant day, or maybe 4 days before a vacant day. What's the lowest you can drop it to? What's the highest you can get booked for on the weekends? Whatever the case may be, all this is trial and error. It's just a part of the business. It's one of the hardest parts of the business, I personally would say. But once you nail it, swimming in profit. You can make so much more money than you think you can, and I just feel like a lot of the people don't understand that because they're not leveraging dynamic pricing. A lot of pricing tools out there. I personally use PriceLab. I have used them from the beginning of my journey. It's very overwhelming in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. I personally think it's the best pricing software out there. It's very, very accurate. It is very, very detailed, and once you learn it, it's like endless opportunities. I'd say the first thing I wish I knew, and I wish people talked about more, so I'm gonna start talking about it more, is pricing and how crucial it is. The second thing I wish I knew before starting this business was that you are basically building your own property management company. So you have problems after problems after problems after problems, and at the end of the day, it is upon you. It is your job to figure out solutions to every single one of these problems. Now, I know that may sound easy, and it's like, oh, a problem here and there. No, there's problems every single day. Whether it's automated messaging is messed up, whether someone forgot to change the lockbox code, the key's missing, the guest forgot to return the parking pass, the unit's AC broke, the heater's not working, the blanket has a piece of hair on it. Endless problems. And when you're doing Airbnb, like short-term rental more specifically, that means like I'm hosting probably 5 to 7 people every single week. That is a lot of different people to please and a lot of different problems that are most likely going to arise. That's 30 different cleans, 30 different guests, 30 different experiences, and there's bound to be one little mistake or error within those 30. That is normal, that is okay. You're operating at such a high scale, so for my personal experience, 48 units, that is a lot of problems, guys. Like, I wake up, there's a problem. At my workout class, there's a problem. At night, there's a problem. If I'm at the movies, there's a problem. There's always problems, which is one thing I have come to love and hate about this business. Would I trade this company for anything? No, I love it. Does it have its own hard and challenging things? Yes, this being one of them. But one thing I have learned is everything is figure-outable, and I swear by that. No matter what the problem has been, when it's occurred, or what the circumstances was, somehow, one way or another, I have figured it out. That is one of the reassuring things, is that Usually, no matter the issue, you will always figure it out. Some are bigger than others, but it is always worth it. The third thing I wish I knew was about properly vetting your guest. A lot of people talk about how Airbnb vets guests for you, which yes, that is true. They have like the identity verification, they have like the reviews. So if someone has like 25-star reviews, the odds of them being a good guest are fairly high compared to someone with 20 reviews and a 3.2-star rating. You can kind of gauge which guest is probably going to be better than the other. I just got a booking. I just got a booking. You guys can't see, but I just got a booking for 4 nights. Slay. It is so much deeper than just relying on Airbnb for vetting your guest. In the beginning of my journey, I was just using Airbnb and solely relying on Airbnb, but come to realize you need to be doing so much more than that. I would say within the last 6 months, I have really upped my vetting processes that I have learned and now have taught my VAs to do when vetting guests. But even if a guest is staying for 1 night, it does not matter. Like, I am not accepting a iffy profile. Like, if you're not top tier, you are not staying at my property. At the end of the day, these guests are a direct reflection of me and my company. So if they come in and they do something, which a lot of damage can happen in 1 night, trust. They do not need to stay awake to mess some ish up, okay? 1 day is plenty. But yeah, whatever they do is a direct reflection of me and my company. And at the end of the day, my business is solely relying on these partnerships with these leasing companies, with these landlords. So the last thing I want to do is tarnish that relationship. So I have really dialed down on my vetting processes. I even have full-time employees who meet my guests at the property and check their IDs on site to make sure it matches their booking on Airbnb. That is how serious I have taken it, for legitimate reasons. There has been some crazy stuff that has gone on, which I can talk about in another video, like a story time. But yeah, the severity and importance of vetting guests I wish was talked about more. The next thing I wish I knew before starting Airbnb was how important and how much money you can actually make with direct bookings. Now on social media, we hear a lot of Airbnb, VRBO, which yes, I 100% agree that these platforms are incredible. I probably will always use them, but within the last year, I have come to really love having direct bookings as an added source onto using these softwares. Now, the good thing about these softwares is it's basically free traffic. So as soon as you put your listing on Airbnb, you are in front of hundreds of thousands of eyeballs scrolling. People go to Airbnb for a reason, and it's free traffic. If you have a listing, you're automatically in front of so many people that if you created a website and put your property on there, you would not immediately get eyes on. That takes time, that takes marketing, that takes money. Direct bookings do not need to be as scary as people make it out to be. So when I first started Airbnb, I had magnets that I put into all of my properties that referred guests to reach out to me personally if they wanted to book in the future and save money. Quickly realized that that was a lot of work because I had to go in and manually close off the calendars, manually send them pricing, manually make sure that, you know, they got their check-in instructions. It was just a lot. Like, the idea for direct bookings was there, but the process was messy and not efficient. So I quickly realized that that was just not gonna work and I needed a different solution. That's when I found Lodgify. There's a lot of different direct booking websites out there, but Lodgify is my personal favorite. A channel manager, property management software, all the things. Another thing I want to mention about the direct bookings is you avoid those little service fees. So these little service fees that Airbnb takes per booking, when you have 48 units and you're doing short-term rentals, that little 3% service fee adds up. I added it up within a month and like wanted to throw up. It was so much money. With these direct booking websites like Lodgify, you get to skip those service fees. So I can actually charge my guests less than they'd be paying on Airbnb, but I still would be making more money because I'm avoiding those fees. So not only do my guests avoid fees, but I also get to make more money and avoid fees. So it's definitely like a win-win, and Lodgify makes it really easy. It's basically like a hotel. If someone came up to me and was like, hey, do you have a property in Nashville? I'd be like, yeah, actually I do. Here's my link, go book it. And it's exactly like booking a hotel. You do it right there, they pay right there. If you require a deposit, you do it right there. Your calendar automatically gets blocked. Automated messages will automatically be sent. It is literally incredible. And I have made probably about $300,000 just off direct bookings within the last year and a half. So definitely really high margins. And the amount of reoccurring guests I have had have actually been pretty surprising. When I first started, I didn't really think I was gonna have very many, But very quickly I realized people do return. Some areas more than others, but I literally know people's first names, last names, their wives' names, how many kids they have, what they do for their living. That is how frequent some guests return. And instead of just sending them to Airbnb and me missing out on money and charging them an arm and a leg, I can do it for a lot cheaper and make a lot more money when I use direct bookings. So if you do want to sign up with Lodgify, the ultimate or professional plan, a code that I can share with you guys. So this is the code, it's Haley15. You will get 15% off. So yeah, use my code and the link in the description. And the last thing that I wish I knew was that you need to delegate in order to succeed. When I first started my business, I wanted to do everything, and I thought that if I wasn't the one doing every single thing, reading every single text or every single email, that it was not being done properly. And that was a very, very toxic mindset to be in, and it really was not helping my company grow at all. If anything, it was making it more stagnant because I was spending so much time doing the small day-to-day tasks that I now hire people to do for me. I have an amazing team, amazing cleaning teams, amazing VAs and co-hosts that do all those little day-to-day managing tasks that I was doing before. But now I can go out and get more units, make better systems and operations. SOPs and your team are the backbone of your whole entire business. Without either one of those, you will not succeed, and you cannot do it all. No matter how much you think you can, you cannot. And if you do decide to do it all yourself, you are going to be more negatively affecting your company than bettering it, because you just can't grow if you're so stuck in the day-to-day things. And that's something I had to learn the hard way, because I wanted to do it all, quickly realized I couldn't. And then once I let go of that control, I just wanted to be in control, I think is what it was, a perfectionist. Once I let go of that, I feel like my company just took off. That is when I noticed the most growth. And then I was able to work more on the back end of making better systems, making better operations, getting approved for 20 units at a time. I would not be able to do all that if I was sending check-in instructions to every single guest. So delegate, please delegate, 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 delegate. There's obviously so many other things that I have learned and wish I knew when I first started that I could go on and on and on and talk about. But these are definitely the major, I think I gave 5, but the top 5 things I wish I knew before I started Airbnb. And I am still learning as I go, so I will continue to share those things with you. But if you have questions about any of the things I touched on within this video, please comment down below. I'm always looking to talk more about things that you guys are curious about or want to know more about. And then if you have any other video suggestions, please comment down below. I have some really, really exciting stuff coming up. I did an interview with Business Insider, so that will be coming out this week. I will make an announcement whenever that comes out. And then more exciting content, more Airbnb content, and just a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe, thumbs up this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.